Hey girl, hey, welcome to Tia's Table, where we talk about food, fitness, wellness for women, and whatever we feel is worth discussing. Thank you for joining me at my table. Sit back, grab a snack, and let's have some girl talk. Hey girl, hey, welcome to season 6 of Tia's Table. Can you even believe it? 6 seasons. If you would have told me during season 1 that I would still be doing this 6 years later, I don't know if I would have believed you, only because I know me. And when it comes to me making time for like the creative, fun things that I like to do, girl, I'm not always that great about holding myself to those things. So the fact that this podcast is about to celebrate 6 seasons, 6 years in September really says a lot. I hope you had a fabulous summer. I'm going to do a quick summer recap of what you missed while we were away from one another, but I hope your summer was quite lovely. My kids go back to school on August the 3rd, on Monday, August the 3rd. So by the time you hear this, my children will be back in school. And I have mixed feelings about that. On the one hand, I'm like, yeah, y'all got to go back to school because I need some structure back into my day. And I also really need to stay out of the grocery store. So for those reasons, yeah, go back to school. On the other hand, as I always say, I really do just like having them at home. It's way less stressful. I don't have to worry about what's going on. Are they doing a good job in school? And all of the things when they're at home. So, if you're celebrating back to school on August 3rd, girl, my hat's off to you. I salute you. Know that you did all you could for those kids over the summer because God knows I did all I could do. I did the best with what I had. Okay, you feel me? I did the best with what I had. Shout out to Mariah Carey. Before we get into the summer recap, though, let's talk about what has been on my table lately. And it is so good. I know it's not going to sound that great when I say it, but hopefully by now you trust me and my palate to tell you all of the delicious, healthy things that I've been eating. And I know this summer was a salad-free summer. And for some people, it was also a fruit-free summer. And I'm not even going to hold you. When those people started threatening us about the explosive bubble guts, I was like, there's no fear in me for that. I'm going to keep eating my salad. I wasn't ever buying bagged or like container salad anyway. I always buy mine like Lucy's, you know what I'm saying, in the produce department. And I chop up my own stuff and I make my own salad blends. So I wasn't afraid of getting the explosive bubble guts over the summer. And I also kept buying us fruit. And I just would clean it and pray over and be like, you know, hopefully we'll be the exception, not what's happening to everybody. And we had a safe, free of contamination summer, I guess, in terms of like our salads and our fruits. So, and I am going to share a salad today. That's why I gave that little bit of a disclaimer. But the first thing I want to tell you that was so good every single time I ate it this summer, oh my gosh, was a kimchi and tuna tostada. Hang in there with me. It is so good. First of all, you don't even have to do anything to the tuna. You literally just pop it out of the can or the pouch, whichever you prefer. Put that on your tostada, and then you put a nice covering of kimchi on top. Now, y'all know I buy my kimchi from Costco. They only have one, and it's absolutely delicious. Like, it's great. Sometimes it's even on sale. I think right now, if you go to Costco, I want to say it's on sale for $6.99 for the tub of kimchi. You cover that tuna in kimchi, and when I mean to tell you it is a delicious bite, it is a delicious bite. Not only is it packed with protein, but that kimchi adds all of those really good probiotics, all that stuff that's really good for your gut lining and all that good bacteria. All that fermentation does what it's supposed to do for your gut. And it is a really good snack to have at least once a day. Now, a pouch or a can of tuna is going to get you anywhere from 15 to 20 grams of protein. I also accidentally bought a can of whatever, I want to say it's Star tuna, they have something called premium tuna now. And I don't know how premium tuna is any different than the regular tuna we've been eating our whole lives, but I do know if you accidentally buy a can of premium tuna, I want to say the can of premium tuna had 25 or 26 grams of protein in it. So this is a good little healthy snack. And if you are on some type of other journey where you're like, ooh, but Tia, you ate it on a tostada. First of all, I'm only using one. Like, girl, what is a life if you can't have one tostada? So I'm going to put that out into the atmosphere. But number two, if you don't want to use the tostada, you could always eat your kimchi and tuna on like a salad leaf. Well, that's if you're comfortable with buying leafy greens. But you know what I'm saying? You could always eat it on something else if you wanted, you know, if you wanted a much healthier option. But I have been eating it on the tostadas, and girl, it is so good. I look forward to that every single day. Something else I made over the summer, and it's actually a reel for this on my TikTok and on the podcast Instagram page. I made a Jamaican inspired roasted chicken that I saw one of my favorite content creators make. His name is Scott Louie. He's a diva and he makes all kinds of like fun New York City restaurant fashion content, right? But Scott Louie also has a business called Dinner Plus. This is in no way sponsored. I just know all his business. Dinner Plus is where he makes different recipes and he teaches people how to cook. And I think he has a product line too. On that page, he made a Jamaican dinner because he is Jamaican. And I was like, oh, I watched him do it. And I said, oh, I have to make this. Number one, because it reminds me a lot of that roasted chicken that Ina Garden has had me making at least twice a month. But this one has a different flavor profile to it and it uses different veggies. So I'm going to try it. And oh my gosh, was it good. Now what you do is you get a whole chicken. You cut it up the back, get you some kitchen shears that you only use to cut things that you're cooking, right? You cut that chicken up the back so you split her wide open, okay? Then you're going to season her really, really well. Now, before you put her in the roasting pan, you're going to put her on top of a bed of like cabbage, carrots, onions, leeks, and things of that nature, right? You're going to put her on top of that. I seasoned my veggies, my cabbage. I seasoned it really good. I also made my own green seasoning. So if you watch his video on YouTube, he uses a green seasoning that I couldn't find at my grocery store. And to be honest with you, I'm not driving all over the greater Atlanta area looking for green seasoning. I actually know where I could have gone to get it. Like I know they would have had it, but it's a smooth 45 minutes from my house. And I said, no, but what I can do is text one of my homegirls who I know has a green seasoning recipe because she too is an island girl and she's a chef. So she knows, like she knows. I knew she would know, you know? So I texted her. She gave me a recipe, told me how to do it. And when I mean to tell you, it was so like the green seasoning by itself was so good. I was like, I don't think I'll ever be able to live my life without green seasoning now. I will be putting it almost on everything whenever I get a chance to do it. Because, oh my gosh, it smells so good. It's a beautiful color. It tastes really good. I didn't really have to put any salt or anything in it. So it's actually good for you, like a low sodium seasoning. It was perfect. So I used that to season the chicken and the veggies. I put that chicken in the oven the way Ina taught me to for an hour and a half on 425, I believe it is. You let it cook. It comes out perfect each and every time. Each and every time it comes out so perfect. To go with that chicken, I made rice and peas using some of the green seasoning to season those because I've made those before and they did not taste like anything. They tasted like a pea and like a rice with absolutely no flavor, even though I followed a recipe. And I'll even tell you whose recipe I followed. I followed Aisha Curry's recipe for rice and peas. It's in her full plate cookbook. And I gotta say, that is an amazing cookbook. But that particular recipe is one that I have cooked before, and I was like, it's not giving what I think it's supposed to give. I made rice and peas to go with this roasted chicken. I used the green seasoning that my friend gave me a recipe for, and those rice and peas were so good. I ate them every day until they were gone. So good. The cabbage underneath that chicken comes out perfectly tender. The flavor of it, because it's getting the flavor of the green seasoning, is getting the flavor from the chicken as it cooks. My mouth waters just thinking about it. If you are a roasted chicken girly, if you're somebody who loves roasted chicken, or you find that roasted chicken is just something you keep in rotation because it is kind of just quick and easy to do, it cooks itself. Once you season it, it literally does its own thing in the oven. Please try this recipe. I will put a link to Scott Louie's YouTube video teaching you how to do it in the description box of this episode so that you too can have that Jamaican inspired roasted chicken dinner at your house, and you will thank me. Now, if you don't know how to make your own green seasoning, like, girl, it's fine, it's cool. Buy one off of the shelf in any, I guess, like Caribbean market, if you can find one. If you have one at like a flea market that you know about, you can use a store-bought one because he did, and it was great. If you want to try making your own green seasoning, I will ask my friend if she has like a moment to like share, but like she's super busy and I don't want to share it because it's not my recipe. Like, but that's why it's always good to have you some homegirls that know how to do something. You know what I'm saying? Be that friend for somebody sometimes, because let me tell you, I don't think there's one thing that I could message her about that she probably would not be able to like steer me in the right direction on. And I love that because I actually genuinely enjoy cooking, and I know she does too. So, yes, I will put a link to that video in the description box. Something else I tried over the summer, just because it was so much hype surrounding it online, and I'm like, "Ooh, well, let me try it and see what the people are talking about." I tried the applesauce and chia seeds just to see what all the hype was about. It doesn't taste bad. It basically just tasted like crunchy applesauce. So there's that. But I don't know if I benefited from eating it at all. I mean, people were making it seem like it was the best thing that happened to them fiber-wise. And I don't know, maybe because I try to eat a lot of fiber every day anyway. Maybe my body is just used to taking in fiber, so I didn't notice a difference, I would say, in my bathroom habits after eating that. But it was a tasty little snack. And if you are someone who feels like you don't get enough fiber in, definitely try it. Because, like I said, it didn't taste bad. It didn't have a bad consistency or anything like that. I could also see where if you use the applesauce and the chia seeds, like if you let them sit overnight, I could see where you could make a smoothie with that the next day and like let the applesauce be like a sweetener for your smoothie. Or like you just toss it in a smoothie because, you want the fiber, you need the fiber, whatever. But did it live up to the hype? For me, no, but I just might be an exception to that as well. Something else I ate over the summer, and I have since recreated it at home because it was just that good. Hold my hand and walk with me because I know how y'all like to tussle over going to chain restaurants. But baby, let me tell you, I ain't ever gonna be too good for a chain restaurant. I'm possibly too good for Applebee's. So maybe Applebee's is where I draw the line. But a Chili's in the right area, because they're not all created equal. A Chili's in the right area, girl, I'm gonna go every time. You're gonna ask me if I want to go, and I'm gonna say yes because Chili's has good things. And let me tell you what I had over the summer from Chili's that actually like blew my mind. And I was like, wait a minute, Chili's, I'm gonna have to make this at home. Now, I don't know the name of it on their menu, but was it called a Santa Fe salad? See, I don't know, and I don't want to steer you wrong. But on the menu, it is a chicken salad that is grilled chicken too. It's like a grilled chicken salad. It comes with like a little bit of pico de gallo, a little bit of guacamole, It comes with, I wanna say there was something else on that salad, but it is escaping me in this moment. Maybe it was like little crunchy things, maybe. But the star of that salad was whatever chipotle vinaigrette salad dressing that came with it. And when you start eating it initially, like you're like, "Oh, this is so good." Like you recognize right off the bat that like, "Oh, this is good. This is actually very delicious." By the time you finish eating that whole salad, because yes, I did eat my entire salad at dinner because they give you like the perfect amount. Oh my gosh, by the time I was done eating that salad, my mouth was a little hot. It was a little spicy. I could feel the heat, but it wasn't so bad that it was off putting. And if I weren't trying to watch what I ate and how much I eat, baby, I would have ordered one to go. I would have ordered one to go because it was that good. And I said, "Hope." Now, before you give these people another $20 for a salad, sit here and think to yourself, is this something you can make at home? And the answer is yes, you can, because you're not afraid of the people's lettuce. So you can make this once you get home. So I got home and I recreated that salad. I made my own pico de gallo. I made my own guacamole. I I did not grill chicken, but if you cook it in a cast iron skillet, it's basically the same thing. I made some grilled chicken, made my own little lettuce, l- you know, girl, and I made my own chipotle vinaigrette. Now, that dressing is something that I had made before. The one at Chili's, though, was creamier. It was like thicker. So theirs might have been like a ranch base chipotle something something. So when I got home, typically when I make my own chipotle vinaigrette, I make it with like red wine vinegar, extra virgin olive oil. There is oregano in there. There's black pepper in there. Sometimes I sprinkle in some red pepper flakes if I want it to be like super, super spicy. And then you just use a few chipotles in the sauce. You put that in a blender and like boom, it's really good. This time I made it though, and I threw in like a couple tablespoons of yogurt to kind of like thicken it up and make it creamy. And it was delicious. When I mean to tell you, I probably won't even do taco night without that salad dressing now. Like now, and see, and this is what happens when you make really good things at home. It just adds to your list of things because now it's like, okay, when we have taco night, which is why I don't be too pressed about Taco Tuesday. You know what I'm saying? We don't have it every Tuesday the way we used to because I'm like, oh, Taco Tuesday at my house involves making your own salsa, making your own guacamole. Now I'm making my own chipotle dressing because now I really can't have it without that because it really did like make it hit, it elevated it that much. Then you got to have ground beef. And then for those of us that like chicken, I have chicken. And then we have all these other things. We have like it's too much. It literally becomes a situation where at this point, because of how much groceries are, sometimes I really do say to myself, let me take y'all down to our favorite little Mexican restaurant and have at it before I do all of this myself, depending on my energy level. But the other day, my energy was peak. So I was like, yeah, let me get in here and make all this stuff. I happened to do that meal actually on the same day as open house. And we will talk about that in a minute. But yes, I say all that to say make your own stuff. Like when you can, make your own stuff. And the thing about making your own stuff, especially with the way grocery prices are constantly rising, let's say, for example, you go and you buy like a thing of salsa at the grocery store. Let me pull up in the Kroger app how much a thing of salsa might be. I'm pretty sure it's going to run you about $5 because I know for a fact guacamole starts at about $6. But if you were to buy salsa from the grocery store, it is going to run you, yeah, it's about 5. Now they do have a Kroger brand that's 2.19. Haven't tried that, so I can't speak to it. But apparently paste salsa is only $3. So hey, so I guess you could buy some salsa and it's actually really affordable. I would like to just encourage folks though, if we can, If you get the ingredients for salsa, my salsa recipe literally is 6 Roma tomatoes, right? 1 jalapeno pepper, about half of a large white onion, the juice from 1 or 2 limes, depending on how much juice. I always buy 2 limes because you never know how much juice is going to come out of one, because I feel like produce is kind of finicky. So you get the juice of 1 or 2 limes. You get a bunch of cilantro, clean it really good because sometimes dirt hides at the bottom. Chop it up. Put all of that into a blender, blend, blend, blend. You season it with salt if you need to at the end. Sometimes I might season mine with some tagine because sometimes that gives it a little razzle dazzle. Boom, right? That makes a perfectly good salsa. If you need your salsa to stretch, so let's say people are coming over, and so you need a bigger batch of salsa, don't buy more of like the produce stuff. You go and you get a can of Mexican style Rotel and you put that in the blender with all of your fresh ingredients, and it's like it grows it. But that Rotel has like lime and onion, like it has all of the yummy flavors in it. So it only enhances what you were going to have if you didn't use it. So that is my salsa recipe. Make your own stuff. Make your own stuff instead of buying like a thing of guacamole, because guacamole, they knock you for already pre-made guacamole. They do. You can go to the produce department and buy yourself like 1 or 2 avocados and you can smash them. Make it yourself, squirt some of that same lime juice on it, put some of that same onion in there. If you want tomatoes in yours, put some of those same tomatoes in there. You might have to buy an extra tomato though, because I really do use all 6 for my salsa. But you see what I'm saying. There are ways around it. Make your own stuff when you have the time. It's so much better for you and it tastes so much better. And that really is the secret to eating really well while you're on a fitness journey. If it tastes good, you won't care about how many times you eat it in a row. Like it would take you a long time before you were like, ooh, I don't want that anymore. You know, that's just my coming off of summer food advice without getting too preachy about it. Let's do a quick little summer recap, shall we? So the kids got out of school, and I think that was the last time we talked. We took a couple weeks to just kind of try to decompress and, get our bearings. We went to the beach. My nephews went with us. It was a great time. The kids enjoyed it. It was a blast. We came back from the beach. I took my daughter to see Ariana Grande in concert. Now, let me say this, because I had never really heard a lot of Ariana Grande's music. I had really kind of only heard the stuff she had done with Victoria Monet. So that's like Thank You Next, 7 Rings, possibly another song that I'm sure I know. I just probably don't know Ariana Grande sings it. Oh, like God is a Woman. I played that song a few times when I was teaching fitness classes. That was on my workout playlist. What else did I know from her? Probably not many songs. So, I always knew Ariana Grande had a beautiful singing voice, but I knew she was a big deal. Like she was in Wicked. I don't want to minimize her stardom. I'm just going to say I knew of the stardom, but I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? Like I knew, I was aware that she was famous, but I didn't know that her fandom goes up for her the way that they go up for her. Like I didn't know. So like once this tour was announced, my daughter kept saying like, oh, mommy, like I have to go. Like Ariana's like my number one. I love her. I love her. I love her. I got to go. I got to have the makeup. All of the things. And so I went on Ticketmaster and I was like, okay, girl, well, let's see what these tickets are hitting for. Ariana Grande sold out in like minutes, right? In minutes, Ariana Grande sold out. And so then I was like, ooh, let me tuck a little bit of this thin hair behind my ear because I don't know how I'm going to pull this off for her because she really wants to go. And as someone who is a part of a fandom, I get it. I get it. I get it. You really, if you love the music, you really got to hear it in person and you got to be there with the vibes and all of the things, right? So I said, okay, I'm going to wait until it gets a little bit closer to the concert and see if more tickets become available, like to see if people who are reselling tickets, if they either change their prices or maybe something has happened and somebody can't go anymore, like whatever. So I ended up coming across tickets that were pretty decent and a pretty decent price. So I'm like, okay, let's do this for her because she's such a sweet girl. And, if she wants to see Ariana Grande, I want to do that for her. Okay, let me tell you what I didn't know. Let me tell you what I did not know and or realize. When you're watching a movie and they show like a concert and everybody in the concert is like jumping up and down like it's like a rave, you know what I'm saying? Almost like because people don't know how to dance, it's like jumping up and down is all they can do. The flailing, the rhythmic flailing of it all. That is what it's like to be at an Ariana Grande concert when she's singing her up tempo songs. I said, "Oh, because this is a different, I am sure different singers share some of the same fans, but the overall vibe and the overall culture of the fandom completely different." And I'm really trying to find nice ways to say it, but I was taken aback. I was standing for some of it, sitting for some of it, but the whole time I'm like, this is like the most flailing I've ever seen at a show. I could not believe it. Like, could not believe it. Those girls, they really go up for her. They really go up for her. And I was unaware of how far up they go. Okay. I was unaware of how far up they go. Like, they are completely mesmerized. And it is like a very girly rave at an Ariana Grande concert. Okay, the girls are dressed in lace. They're dressed in polka dots. Everything is frilly. Everything is very schoolgirly. Some of them had on her ears from which I thought that was cute. Thought that was cute. But yes, the merch line's insane. Insane. Now, there was a certain piece of merch that everybody wanted, some type of little teddy bear keychain that comes with a free lip gloss or something like that. She only sells like 150 of them per show. So it's kind of like you got to be there and be in line. We got to the show early enough for her to stand in line to get her t-shirts that she wanted, her merch. Then once you're inside the venue, that's the only place you can buy that teddy bear merch thing inside. Okay. So as you can imagine, the closer it gets to State Farm Arena, opening up the doors, the lines to get in to the arena are already long. We were at the front of one of the lines. We get in, and there was talk, like while we're standing in line waiting for the arena doors to open, there was talk of how people were planning to get in line to secure their teddy bear. And the mommy daughter duo that we happened to be in line with, her daughter was much older than my daughter, but the girl was schooling me. She was like, this is where it is. This is where you go. She had on a lime green tank top. And so I told my daughter, listen, when they open those doors, because I have on flip flops, when they open those doors, you follow this lime green tank top and I will eventually catch up to you. But like, I'm not running in my leather flip flops. I'm sorry. I can't. I physically couldn't do it if I wanted to. But you follow her and I'll catch up to you. So we get in line. She secures her teddy bear keychain with the free lip gloss. And it was in that moment I knew that the rest of this day couldn't fail. She already had the t-shirts she wanted. We got the very popular teddy bear keychain with the free lip gloss. Like, we got that. By the time we got out of that line and we made our way to our seats, we did get an order of chicken wings from JR Crickets, because what is an Atlanta outing if you don't get wings? I don't know. So we got the wings, we ate those like close to our section. We go, we sit. The concert is great, but now let me tell you something else. Let me tell you something else about Ariana Grande. That girl runs a tight program. That show was supposed to start at 8:15. It started at 8:15. At 8 o'clock, she put a countdown on the screen saying, in 15 minutes, I'm coming out of here. When I mean to tell you, hear me when I say this. that if I'm not mistaken, and I don't think I am, that show was over and I was inside my car by 10:30. I mean, I was in my car at 10:30. We were home before 11:30. Do you hear what I'm saying, Beyonce? Beyonce, if you can hear me. Girl, the show started, then it was over. When I mean to tell you, Ariana Grande does not take breaks. I mean, she does. Like, she goes underneath the stage and then she pops right back out. I don't know what kind of sorcery they're doing for her underneath there, but Ariana Grande played like one movie, because you know how they like to do that when they're changing clothes. They show you the movies. There was one that I can remember. One. It might have been two, but they were quick. They were quick. The show was over. I was in my car. I was home before 11:30. And all of that matters because I live 45 minutes away from State Farm Arena. I mean, it's not like I live close. I'm not in the city. She's not a city girl. Do you hear what I'm saying? That was one of the takeaways for me of that night, that like, ooh, people really do. Because, and you know how I feel. Act 3, like I'm waiting on it. I'm ready. You know what I'm saying? Whatever summer that happens, I'm going to be there, boots on the ground, very happy to be there. But baby, I already know Beyonce don't even come out until it get dark outside. You're going to be in there for a solid 3 hours, having fun the whole time. I can't get enough. When she finally says, y'all be safe and go home, I'm sad. But yeah, I'm normally asleep before we even make it out of Mercedes-Benz parking lot because I'm tired. I've danced for 3 hours, not like the girls were jumping at Ariana's show, but like I've been doing all the things. I'm 42. So we enjoyed the show. A lot of cultural differences that I noticed that you can't help but notice, and you can't help but look and be like, dang, could we be could we be doing things differently on the other side? But then I'm like, I don't know, because part of the fun is just like being in the chaos of it all. I don't know. We went to the concert. When that concert was over, we stayed home for a couple days. We went and saw my mom for like a week. That's where I ate the chicken salad at Chili's. Came back home, and when we got home, it was time to get ready to go back to school. Like, can you even believe that? Can you even believe it? We had open house day. That was a long, long day because all 3 of my kids go to 3 different schools. I went back to school supply shopping. That was chaotic. I actually heard a woman on the phone in Walmart tell somebody she was overstimulated and overwhelmed. And I felt like, yeah, me too, sis. This is a lot because I only come to Walmart a handful of times a year, back to school, holiday season. And then I just throw in a couple other times during the year if I need something and I can't find it anywhere else. Let me tell you, that was a lot. It took me a full day to recover from open house and back to school supply shopping. And I really didn't even have the full day to recover because I still had to go grocery shopping for school lunches, just for stuff so that I could be prepared. I could be prepared for tomorrow. And I feel like I'm as prepared as I'm going to be. Something else I did over the summer, I purged and gutted, organized much of this house. I did my closet, which I shared that process on Instagram. So if you ever want to see some of the stuff I talk about on the podcast, it's normally in the podcast stories over on Instagram. And that's Tia's Table Podcast on Instagram. That closet has been clean ever since. Won't he do it? Won't he do it? Because I said, I'm going to do all of this, and then this closet is going to be a mess in like a couple days. That's a lie. That closet has been clean ever since. So I know it was just me against me with the closet because it's been clean. I did the same thing in the kitchen. I cleaned everything out, threw things away, organized it in a way that makes so much more sense. And I have had lots of stress-free cooking ever since. When I open up that diner for the first time in a long time tomorrow morning, we're going to be able to bang them meals out because I'm not going to be digging and looking for everything. I cannot tell you how it has reduced my stress level a great deal to have these spaces like cleaned and organized, to like my level of clean and organized, because other folks were running things around here pretty much all of last year. God bless him. He did a good job, but boy, it was a mess when I finally came to and I started walking around here looking at all the places and the things. And there's a linen closet with my name on it that I'm going to also clean maybe one day this week. But I went into my boys' rooms. I got rid of clothes that were too small. I folded up all their clothes, put them in their rooms nice and neat. I had a meeting with them and said, hey, when you're in here getting dressed for school in the morning, don't be throwing this mess all over the place. You very carefully flip through these folded t-shirts, find the one you want to wear, you put it on, pick a pair of pants, and let's get out of here. But the days of y'all just shoving stuff in these drawers to the point where they don't even close no more, it's a wrap for that. We have a running joke in my family that we always say, like, that ends today or this ends today. Somebody is doing something and it's like ridiculous. Yeah, that kind of mess, it ends today. We are organized preteens and teenagers all up and through here. Don't be having stuff all afoot. Something else that I taught those boys how to do this summer, their own laundry. As a matter of fact, I texted my same friend who gave me the green seasoning recipe. And I was like, hey, does so-and-so do their own laundry? And she was like, absolutely, they do. I said, oh, okay, say less. Then I called them same two boys that live in this house. And I said, hey, listen, this is how you put clothes in the washing machine. This is how you start the washing machine. When the washing machine stops, it'll beep. You come up here, you put the stuff in the dryer. You don't even got to do nothing but push play on the dryer. And it starts, or I guess you push the start button. It starts, you walk away, and that's it. That's all. You take the clothes out of the dryer, you fold them like I just showed you, and you neatly put them away. Make sure your drawers close. I did that for myself this summer. I feel so free. Something else I taught these children how to do, or a task that I helped them take ownership of, because they always knew how to do it, but I really had not pushed them to take ownership of the task. Cleaning up that kitchen, baby. Because if I'm going to the grocery store and then I'm coming home and I'm cooking and then I wash dishes as I cook, when y'all finish eating, the least you can do is rinse off the dishes and put them in the dishwasher. Now, where they were getting things a little messed up was that if they opened that dishwasher and it was full of clean dishes, they were closing the dishwasher back up, putting their dishes in the sink, and they were kind of acting like, hey, well, that's above me. It's nowhere for me to put these dishes. And this summer, I said, that ends today. It ends today. Let me tell you, if you open up the dishwasher and it's full, baby, empty it. Empty it. And if you've got to get your siblings involved in the mission, get them involved. Empty this dishwasher out, then you can put your stuff into the dishwasher. I said, because you know what your other option is if you don't do that? Baby, you're hand washing dishes. Because what I do know is I'm never coming over to the sink and seeing dirty dishes in it anymore. That's what I know. So those are your options. You either unload and load up or you hand wash. My sink has not been full of dishes all summer because they got it. It took us maybe one or two friendly reminders from management for everybody to realize I was serious. But once they realized, like, oh, she's back for real, like she's all the way 100% back, I haven't seen a dirty dish since. Something else that I really can't take credit for teaching them how to do, but when it was happening, I did not interfere with the lesson, which sometimes, sometimes moms can be like, oh, don't be so hard on them, or, oh, like that's too much. No, 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 no. When this lesson was going down, I said, oh, that ain't got nothing to do with me. That ain't my problem. Let me stay out of it. Mr. Work from Home, and if you are on the Instagram page, then you know why I'm calling him that. Work from Home was like, hey, when y'all are cleaning up this kitchen, put the food away. Don't make your mama put the food away. Y'all know where the containers at. Get busy. Like, put the food in the containers and put the containers in the refrigerator. I can't tell you how that has just changed my life. So it's like I finish cooking, I eat my food, and that's it. Then I'm free. Tell you what, if you live long enough, there are new blessings every day. And that was one that came for me over the summer. Now, the summer was not all puppies and rainbows. We had a couple homeowner issues come our way this summer that I'm going to be quite thankful for, because I understand that sometimes things can always be worse, right? We had our air conditioner downstairs go out. We paid the fee because we have like the homeowner's insurance plan thing. And if you're a homeowner and you don't have that and you want to talk to me more about that, girl, message me on Instagram or somewhere because it saves us so much money. Well, I mean, it's a monthly fee, so does it really save you money? But I feel like, yeah, because it's cheaper when the people come out. Anyway, we have the homeowner's insurance thing, right? So when something goes wrong in here, I get online, I file a claim. It's $100 for anybody to come out here and fix whatever I say is going on. The AC downstairs went out. I said, oh, we're not going to be able to live like this. Boom, the people came out and fixed it. Don't you know, 2 weeks later, the upstairs AC went out. And I said, now, when you was out here for that other AC, why didn't you check the other unit? Because the whole house does not share the same, like the one, you know what I'm saying? Why didn't you check the other one? Because they said they're not allowed to do that. I said, okay, fine. I'm not trying to have nobody lose their job. You file it. Boom, they came out and they fixed the upstairs one. Now, one day we saw water on the floor and we thought nothing of it because we were like, well, that's weird. Somebody spilled water or something is happening and we don't know. Then a couple days went by and we were like, oh no, actually that is leaking from the ceiling. Yeah, that's not good. And this happened right before we were going to the beach. So again, I get online, file the little claim, $100. Somebody comes out here and they're like, oh, you've got some leaky pipe. Some piece of the pipe needed to be replaced. But of course, it was going to take them a week to get the part in. Now, a part of me says I'm no plumber. I don't have a plumbing business, but I bet you if you tell me the name of that part, I could get it out to my house faster than a week. I know that. I know that. I know it. Baby, give me the name of the part and let me order it. And then I'll call you when when it's here and you can come back out here and fix it. But I know that's not how their businesses work. But sometimes little things like that really do bother me because I'm like, it could be faster than that. I don't know what kind of process y'all got set up over there, Mr. Plumbing person. So we wait the week. Now, that week happened to be the week we were away, right? At the beach, because I wasn't going to cancel the baby's vacation over something. And it was a small leak, but you know how small leaks are. They start small and then one day your shit is flooded. And I didn't want to come back home to like a mess. So my husband was like, oh, baby, we just going to turn the water off. We're just going to turn the water off and we're going to take our kids to the beach. If no water is on, water can't leak. He said, but just in case, he had kind of MacGyvered a little situation, just in case some water did leak, it would have gone into a big bucket. And then my dad came over to the house a couple times during the week while we were gone to check on it and everything stayed dry. When we got back from the beach, they came, they put the part on. We haven't had a leak since. Won't he do it? Okay, but then I noticed after the man fixed the pipe, the water pressure in my house declined. Like it went from being the rainforest that it normally is to literally being like a trickle. Like when I mean to tell you, I could not even cook because I could not even fill a pot with water. And I certainly could not have anybody in here washing dishes. Like it was bad, bad. So then I called the insurance company at that point because I was like, hey, whoever y'all sent out here, they replaced the part. We no longer have a leak, but now we also just don't have water. Like our water pressure is low. Send them back out and see if you call them back within 30 days, they come back out and it don't cost you nothing. That love don't cost a thing. They came back out and they were like, oh, that's a water heater issue or something with the water heater. He flushes the water heater. Then he goes around to all of the different faucets and fixtures. He does something to them and like, wouldn't you know it, now we have water pressure, except for at the kitchen sink. And I think he didn't fix the kitchen sink because he didn't know how to take it apart and put it back together. But luckily, my husband knew how to do it. So he fixed the water pressure at the kitchen sink and we were all back up and running, right? And you would say to yourself, dang, Tia, that was a lot. So it's nice that that's kind of where it ends. And I'm here to tell you that's not where it ends. Because then, as hot as it is outside, my car had the nerve to take PTO with the air conditioning system. And you know I couldn't do that. Like, who can ride around in this heat with no AC? Not me. And at first I was doing it though, because we had all like the inside the house issues. And I was like, dang, my AC is like going out. And I had kind of said something about it, but didn't make a big deal out of it. We went somewhere and my husband drove my car. And he was like, I know you haven't been riding around in this car like this. I said, yeah, remember I told you my AC was acting a little funny. He was like, yeah, you said it was acting funny. You didn't say it was like you didn't say it was out. He was like, oh no, you got to fix this. And I was like, yeah, but when you go to the dealership, they're also going to say that I need like a new timing belt, and they're going to say I need a new battery, and they're going to say like I need all these things to my car cuz that's what they told me the last time I got the oil changed. He looked at me and I looked at him, and then I was like, yeah, my car does act a little funny sometimes. Like like sometimes it acts like it just doesn't want to, but it always does. She's never let me down, and I've never been on the side of the road, but sometimes she acts like, girl, did those people not tell you I needed a little nip and a tuck? And you're acting like I don't. You know what I'm saying? He looked at me and I looked at him, and he was like, girl, if you don't take this car, he was like, or do you want me to take it? I said, well, I know it's going to take them a long time to do the timing belt, so we can drop it off. We go, we drop it off, boom, boom, boom. But then Honda, because I drive a Honda was kind of like, oh, but with the AC, the test to figure out what's going on with your AC is like $400. That doesn't include us fixing it. So I said, okay, we'll fix everything else, and I will do something else about the AC. So I ended up finding another mechanic that was able to fix my AC. And so, and this was all on Instagram too. I lived my summer on that podcast Instagram page. But yeah, the day I got my car back and it had a new battery, it had a new timing belt, and the AC was blowing, girl, you couldn't tell me nothing. And it was freshly detailed. Baby, I wanted to drive around just because. I didn't because of the gas prices, but I wanted to. And once my car was all the way fixed, I was like, dang, my car was really bad off actually. Like it it was really hanging in there doing the best she could with what she had. Just like me all summer. We were two birds of a feather, me and that car. Love her down. So glad she's doing better. But yeah, girl, all of that happened this summer in 8 weeks since you and me talked last. So did the summer take me through there? Yes, in some ways. Did I also have like a really great summer? I would also say yes. And summer is not over. It's just that the kids are going back to school. But yeah, quick little summer recap. Some of the things that I finally got a chance to see over the summer. Some things I tried to watch, like The Polygamist, because that was trending over the summer. Didn't get to finish it, mainly because I could not wrap my head around the fact that all of these women were fighting over that man. I'm like, in order for that to be believable, y'all would have had to pick somebody else for that role. Nothing about that man was fine enough for all of y'all to be going out of your way to be crazy over him. So I wasn't able to complete that series, but it did trend all summer. People say the ending is really good. If you like good mess, watch it because it really did give good mess. I just wasn't believable for me. So I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. What I did watch over the summer that was really good, Jennifer Garner and Regina Hall in 5-Star Weekend. That is on the Peacock app. That was great. I love Regina Hall, so I'll watch her in anything. That was amazing. I also watched Chloe Bailey's Strung, also on the Peacock app. Strung wasn't bad. That movie also stars Lynn Whitfield, which lets you know it too is messy because she does that real good. She does mess real good. Watch it. It's not going to be the most cinematic thing you've ever seen, but it's fine. They say her sister's movie, You, Me, and Tuscany, is going to be on the Peacock app August the 7th, which I did also see that over the summer. And I thought it was cute, and I would watch it like over and over again as background noise. Did that movie live up to what maybe I thought it was going to? No. But, it was fine all the same. I did get to see it. I also finally got to see Devil Wears Prada 2, and I thought that was really good. I think it did the movie franchise justice. Was it just as good as the first one? I think that's hard to say because I feel like whenever they do that, where they come back and they try to do like a part two, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, but movies never live up to the first one. I would say in most cases. Yeah, no, because the first Sex and the City movie was really good. That second one had a lot of problematic racial undertones to it that I just feel like how did they not know that was bad? But when you watch old episodes of Sex and the City, things are a little touch and go there too. Yeah, so I guess that tracks for that franchise. Anyway, Devil Wears Prada 2 was good. If you have not seen that, watch it. I also finally watched the Michael Jackson movie, and I feel like my assumptions about that movie tracked for what I watched. Was it a good movie? Sure. Was it better than the Jackson 5, like American Dream, the one that gets played on TV all the time? No, it wasn't. And the way that the Michael Jackson movie ends, it's clear that they're going to do like a part two, or they're going to come back with another one. And I'll watch the other one when it comes out from the comfort of my own home, because what are we doing? Like, I don't know. But then I think for people who are over the age of 40, I think we've just number one, we saw his life play out like in real time. So there's that. And two, like we've been learning about Michael Jackson our whole lives. So I just don't know that the movie like gave me anything, or maybe I'm just not a diehard fan enough. And what I mean by that is I love his music. Off the Wall, incredible album. Thriller, incredible album. The Dangerous album, incredible. His music videos, incredible. He is a legend. He is an icon. He is the king of pop. He is Michael Jackson. I respect the art. I I respect the music. But do I need to keep seeing movies about his life? I don't think so. And I feel the same way about Whitney Houston. I really do feel like leave that lady alone. Leave her alone. I don't want to see another movie about Whitney Houston. We were all here for it. We all know what happened. We all know the stories. Respect her vocal abilities, respect her talent. She was a phenomenal actress, an amazing singer. And let's just leave it at that. Why we got to keep dragging stuff? Also, Netflix was messy and released like a documentary shortly after that movie came out. And I feel like for much of the summer, people were like riding the Michael Jackson wave in like all directions, and some of it was just too much. But it has been really cute to see younger generations like take to his music, learn it, and really love it. So, like, my kids have had like a Michael Jackson summer. They were like, oh my gosh, and they know his songs and they love his songs and they listen to his songs, and I think that's great. I just really don't want to see like the bad parts of somebody's life get replayed over and over again, because I feel like he was bigger than that. I have started watching Married at First Sight, the new season that is also streaming on the Peacock app. And if we could just very quickly do a rundown of some of these couples. Nikki and Sean, if you're not watching, please watch, because like what do the black girls on Married at First Sight gotta do to get matched with people who are actually good matches? I haven't seen like a solid black couple, I'm gonna say, since the New Orleans season, and that was a long time ago. Nikki and Sean, I don't know what their um why they keep having breakdowns in communication. I really don't know enough about Sean to know if he can be a good husband to Nikki. I feel like he hasn't really been that vulnerable or transparent. I think he's coming into it now. We're on like episode 6. I think episode 6. Yeah. He's coming into it now, but the way he was going back and forth with her for like the first 5 or 6 episodes, I'm like, yeah, no, I wouldn't be attracted to you either. He's not a bad looking man. He's not the tallest. And I feel like if you're a man and you're height impaired, then you've got to have a good personality. You can't be out here being a dick if you're not vertically, what do we want to call it? If you're not vertically blessed, you really got to be about something else. You know what I'm saying? You got to be nice. You got to be welcoming. You got to be warm. You got to be friendly. You got to be a safe space. If you can't be none of that, and on top of that, your growth was stunted in some way, I'm going to either need you not to apply for these kind of shows, or I'm going to need for you to try to be better. So I don't know what's going to end up happening with them. Then the other couple on that show, Mecca and Belle Jolie, I think that's how she pronounces her name, or it might be Bella Jolie. She's a beautiful woman. He is a nice looking man. Together, they look great. However, I don't know what's going on there. Now, Mecca definitely has some baggage. He was raised by his father. His mom, I think, like walked out on him. And then I want to say there was also an issue with his stepmom, or maybe a grandmother passed away. I don't know. He hasn't been very lucky with the women who are in his life, like the matriarchs of his life. He hasn't really had much success in those relationships. And I think because of that, he is being very slow to open up to Bella Jolie, or it's like he's kind of testing her, I guess, to see if she's gonna stick around, or like he's afraid to really like open up because he doesn't know if she's gonna say yes on decision day. But I can tell you this, if you keep acting the way you've been acting with her, she's definitely gonna say no on decision day. Like she's testing you just as much as you think you're testing her. Also, his dad is super weird. So like if that's who raised you, bruh, you probably do have a lot of problems. And on these TV shows, we don't have enough time to hash all of them out, right? Also, this new season of Married at First Sight, they got rid of Pastor Cal and what's our homegirl, Dr. Pepper. Yeah, that was her name. Was it her name, Dr. Pepper? I know it sounds weird when I say it, but I want to say that lady's name was Dr. Pepper. Yes, they got rid of like the OG matchmakers. And I really don't think I like these new people. Not that Pastor Cal and Dr. Pepper had like the best track record of giving us like solid couples, but I think their advice to couples was a lot better than what we're getting from the two experts that are on there now, whose names I don't know yet. So, yeah, but if you're watching this new season, please let's talk about it. The other couples on that show, you have Tori and Felipe. Felipe seems like a recovering womanizer. I hope he's able to like stay faithful because Tori is like solid. Like she's one of the women on the show this season who seems to just be pretty normal, like pretty normal girl. Who else is on here? I want to say there's a guy named Adam. Is he married to Courtney, or is Courtney with somebody else? I don't know. There are other couples on the show quite naturally, but none of them seem that strong to me. And of course, I'm rooting for the Black couples to be together in the end if it ends up that they should be, but it's not giving we're going to get two yeses out of them. If Nikki and Sean end up saying yes on decision day, it would surprise me. I think Mecca and Bella Jolie, I feel like they could be a yes, but I feel like they have a lot of work to do to get there. So maybe we'll be 50-50 because Nikki and Sean, Nikki is not going to stay with that man because she's let us know over and over again she is not attracted to him. And I don't know if that's based on his looks or based on how he acts or if it's a combination of the two. I have also still been committed to my watch of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. And when I mean to tell you, I'm so glad the reunion is about to come on because I watched that show all season. And when I mean to tell you it was about nothing, it was about nothing. They fought all season about some old mess. Apparently, Shamia and Portia are not best friends anymore. Shamia is having a really hard time with that. Shamia said at a dinner one night, listen to what she said at the dinner. And this is how I know how I know we don't all think the same, or like we weren't all brought up with like the same set of like common sense rules or like the way that we do stuff. So Shamia was like, Portia, even though me and you aren't friends anymore, that shouldn't keep our kids from hanging out. You should still let Pilar, PJ, Portia's daughter, you should still let her come over to the house and play with so and so, Shamia's daughter, because like our daughters were friends and my daughter misses your daughter. And Portia sat there. She let Shamia say everything she had to say. And Portia was like, I don't know. This is paraphrased, by the way. She was like, I don't know what world you live in where you think I'm going to let my child come over to your house and you don't even like me like that. Like me and you, we don't really rock with each other like that. So why would I let my child go to the home of a person who at the end of the day does not like me? Does that make sense to you? And then everybody was kind of sitting there like, yeah, well, but people are too afraid to like speak up and say. But yeah, watching that exchange, I was like, I cannot wait for the reunion to come so I can be done with this, because I will not be returning for any of the following seasons of Real Housewives of Atlanta. I feel like Pinky, the owner of Slutty Vegan, I feel like her position on that show did absolutely nothing to the show. Like she brought nothing. All she did was complain the whole season. Well, the first half of the season anyway. She talked about that bankruptcy. That was it. That was all. K. Michelle had a little situation at the beginning of the season where one of her plastic surgeries started leaking. And like that was like a big to do. She got into it with a couple of the girls. I think Drew, like she kept trying to shade Drew, Sadora, saying Drew wasn't like a real singer. And I'm like, y'all better pull Drew Sadora's track record. That girl was in White Chicks. She was on The Game. Like she has acted in a lot of stuff, but at the time, people just didn't know her name. But if you go on her IMBD and put her name in there, you'll see that girl has been working. Like for real, for real. I'm also of the mindset that K. Michelle did not need to come on this show. Again, her place on this show provided absolutely nothing. Kelly, who I said from episode 1, I was not a fan of because all she does is holler and scream every time she's on, like in a scene. I feel the same way about her. Now, they did show her going through her divorce, her basically not having a place to stay. She ended up staying in one of Shamia's properties with her kids until she could find something. So they did kind of show what's going on in her life right now with her and her husband breaking up. And then it did show her relationship with some of the girls. None of them were all that good. I think her and Portia were going at it, but they ended up making up. Yeah, it was nothing. Cynthia and Phaedra, I don't know why they're on this show. They're just basically there as mediators and narrators. That's it. That's all. Who else is on here that I'm missing? Oh, Angela Oakley. She's married to Charles Oakley. He used to be in the NBA. She gets into it with Kelly all the time and Shamia. They hurl insults back and forth at each other all the time. And I'm like, yeah, this does not make for entertaining television. Like we see nothing about y'all's actual life. Y'all literally get together, you get hair and makeup done to meet at these restaurants, and then all y'all do is fight. Y'all went to Scotland on a trip. Y'all got over to Scotland and all y'all did was fight. Like it, no. No more seasons of that show for me. This was definitely my last one. And I think that's everything worth mentioning that I that I watched over the summer. So, what do we do now that it is August and kids are going back to school? Well, catching up, picking up where we left off from the last time we talked. I know I talked a lot about canceling my Pilates membership, and I went back and forth about should I do it, should I not do it? And I really couldn't find peace in my decision making because I kept thinking like, oh, I would hate to cancel, but then end up missing it and blah, 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 blah. Let me tell y'all, I went to class one day and I was having to go to class at like 3:00 in the afternoon, by the way, to catch the instructor that I wanted to take class with. which was very much so a hiccup to my day. Not only was it a hiccup to my day, but I'm like, oh, when school starts back, I'm not going to be able to come over here at this time because I'm going to be in the mommy pickup line. Anyway, I go to class one day. It's my favorite instructor. Just in conversation, she shares that she's expecting again and that she's due in like the next 3 to 4 months, and that when she has the baby, like, she's not coming back. And if she does come back, it'll be to the position at the front desk. She really won't be teaching like that. And in that moment, I said, oh God, you are so good, because I was going back and forth with myself about whether or not I should cancel this membership. And you basically just gave me the peace I needed, because if she's not going to be working here in the next 3 to 4 months, there's no point in me staying here and sticking it out, sticking it out until she goes on maternity leave. It's not. It's really not. And I kept trying to talk myself into not leaving. And I'm like, even during the day, if you were to be able to catch the other instructor that you like, it would have to be in the time slot that you actually want to take her. And it would have to be a class that wasn't the exact same class almost every day. Now, the level 2 classes had already gotten to a place where there's a wait list for them like all the time. Not only that, but the level 2 classes weren't being offered at my desired time all that often. Like, in order for me to make it to those classes, I would have had to rearrange my day to be able to make it over there. And I really didn't like the time that those classes were being offered. So I looked at that. I looked at what's normally offered at my desired time, and they really weren't classes that I feel like I would want to go to often enough to meet my membership. Because in order for my membership to make sense, you got to be over there at least twice a week. But really, ideally, you do want to go at least 3 times a week, because that's really getting you your bang for your buck. And I'm like, yeah, I'm just not seeing classes that I even want to take, or I'm not seeing them with instructors that I want to take enough to really make coming over here worth it. So one day I went to class, and before class started, I asked about canceling my membership. We went through the process of canceling, and I can still take class up until sometime in September, but once that day comes, like, I won't be a member over there anymore. So what am I doing instead? I am really excited to share that I am just going back to the basics. I'm going back to the fundamentals of working out and doing some other things just for the fun of it, creating a workout routine that I feel like, number one, I will be excited to do, but number two, time-wise, it'll just make more sense for me, right? So your girl has been going back to the gym over the summer. Have I been consistently going over the summer? No. No, no, no. I said when the kids go back to school, I will get more consistent. But I have been going over the summer, getting familiar with where machines are, just getting more comfortable with being over there. And I'm excited to be going back to the gym. My plan is to go 3 times a week. On the days that I'm not at the gym, I'm going to do hot Pilates, or like sculpt Pilates, whatever the girls are calling it, here at home. How are you going to do that at home? Oh, because I have a I have a space heater in the basement. And I was like, you know what? We got sculpt or hot Pilates at home. I can turn on that space heater. I can put my little mat down on the floor, and I can either do sculpt with Peloton, who is now offering it, or I can do it with Pilates by Izzy on YouTube. Either one will get me there. Either one will take me to where I want to go. So I'm going to do that on the days that I'm not at the gym. So my schedule will look like Monday at the gym, Tuesday I'll be home, Wednesday at the gym, Thursday I'll be home, Friday at the gym, and I'll do like the sauna. And then on the weekends, my goal is just to walk or do something more recovery based, maybe like a bike ride or some yoga, some stretching, something, but daily movement is the goal. And I'm so happy about that. I also had a meeting at the gym over the summer, and I had a trainer talk to me about where I'm at right now, what I need to do in order to see some type of change in my physique. And we talked about nutrition. We talked about how important it is to really make sure you're getting in protein. And after talking to him, I'm like, well, yeah, I normally eat about 100 grams of protein a day. That gets me the physique that you're looking at right now. And he said to me, if you look like that right now, only eating 100 grams of protein, if you were to increase your protein by 20 to 40 grams a day, and of course, it doesn't have to be perfect every day, he was like, you will like where that takes you. He was like, but you just got to be doing the workouts. And I said, oh, yeah, absolutely. You have said nothing to me. So, yes, let's do it. Let's try it and see what we think. And at the end of August, I'm going to evaluate where I'm at, how I feel, what I look like. And if I feel like I still didn't get the results that maybe I was hoping for at the end of August, then I have already selected a trainer at the gym that I would like to work with. Because I did talk to him about my previous personal training experience. And if I were to go down that road again, I wanted to be in more control of who I got attached to. I'm like, because last time y'all just paired me with somebody, I think because of our personalities, and we were a good personality fit. I was like, but I'm not paying people for their personality. Like when I mean to tell you the way that I am in today's Tia, my husband has started calling me New World Order, which I don't have a point of reference for that. But he says when Hulk Hogan went dark on WWE, he had like the black beard and people started calling him New World Order or something like that. He said, that's me. He was like, because, oh, Tia, you don't take no mess from nobody anymore and you be shutting stuff down now. He was like, so yes, he was like, I'm gonna start praying for the people at the gym. And I said, well, yeah, and I told that man, I was like, last time y'all paired me with somebody based on our personalities, that lady was real sweet. She was real nice. And I really did enjoy her. And we can be friends, but I'm not paying people for that. I'm not even a part of no organization where you pay to be somebody's friend. So why am I come do that at the gym? I'm paying for results. I'm paying because I want to look delicious. When I go to the beach, when I'm anywhere, I want people to look at me and say, dang, that girl works out. Or like, dang, body is tea. I want them to be like, dang, I don't know if that's the gym or if that's a BBL. Well, now I really don't want, people always say they want BBL allegations. And I'm like, no, you don't. No, you don't. You don't want that. You don't want that, girl. You just want to look good. And that's what I want to do. I said, I want to look good. I want to look good. I said, so I want to see trainers. I want to see their Instagram before y'all pair me with another person. Like, I want to kind of halfway interview them or at least try them out before y'all just think y'all about to match me with just anybody. And when I was done talking, he was like, there's a trainer named so and so who works with women like much older than you, and he was telling me about those women and like how in shape they are. He was like, I'm going to give you a free session with him so you can try him out before you make any type of commitments. He was like, but I think you'll like him because you're going to see the women that he trains. And he was like, and they're 10 plus years older than you. He was like, but when you see them, he was like, they look like what you're talking about. And he was like, and some of them even do like the bikini fitness competitions and stuff. And I was like, okay, well, if he can do that, he can certainly do what I'm asking, because I'm not even asking for all of that. I just want to look the way I look right now, but like vacuum seal me just a little bit. That's it. Just suck me in just a little bit, because I have worked really hard to get all of my muscle back and to fill my body back out so I'm not flabby anywhere. Because let me tell you, when the big to do ate me alive, I was so flabby. Like, I would be walking or like trying to run and I could feel like my body like moving up and down, like all over, because I had no muscle. So I'm like, it has taken me quite a bit of time, and it has taken a lot of discipline to rebuild muscle the way that I have, I was like, but now I need to like lean back out just a little bit. And I would appreciate the guidance of a trainer if it comes to that. But I'm going to try what we've talked about today, all of August, see how that works for me. And I will come to you at the end of August and let you know if I need to take you up on that free training session with that trainer. So that's where I'm at workout wise. And I feel like I'm very happy with that. I feel so much more relaxed. I I'm happy that I don't have the pressure of driving over to Pilates anymore, and I can just kind of take advantage of some of the stuff that I was already paying for. Yes, and yes. Some other big things that have been happening over the summer. Tyra Banks is suing Netflix, which we all just kind of say, girl, you got on them people's TV and said all that stuff. They didn't make you say a thing, but she's arguing that the way she was edited makes her look bad. I don't know if she has a case, but Tyra is also on Project Runway right now. And I haven't started Project Runway yet, but I hope she's not up there doing too much because I actually like that show. It's one of my favorites. We also we already talked about the Bubble Guts outbreak, so it's no need to bring that back up. Zendaya has been having quite the summer, like shutting it down on all of the red carpets. Her and her husband are in like 100 movies right now, and all of them are doing great. They look great and happy and like all in love every time you see them. I have been enjoying that myself. Her and La Roche really should put out like, I don't know if they should do like a documentary that cover, because I know they've been filming it. Famous people film everything. Like, I know they have the footage. Put together some type of documentary of like all of her looks and all of the things, like styling her for all these special things. Where did these dresses come from? Give us the history behind the fashion. I would love that. I would be so sad with some snacks watching that. Most people want them to do like a coffee table book. I'm like, no, because I'll buy that book, flip through it one time, and I'll never watch it again. But a documentary. I have watched that Andre Leon Talley documentary several times, like a bunch. And I would do the same if they did that, like a style documentary. I think that would be fun. And then lastly, before we go, I know many of us have been following the Nolan Wells case, and I just feel like you can't come back from the summer break without extending your condolences to his family. I have watched almost every press conference. I have been following that case just because my heart is so broken for his mother. I cannot imagine what it must feel like to know that you're very healthy, very strong, very loving, very cute kid, goes out to hang out with his friends and just doesn't come back home. And I feel like insult to injury is that you try to get answers about what happened to him and no one wants to say anything. Like, no one wants to share anything about what happened. No one's conscious wants to be free by telling you what happened. The medical examiner, the police department there, like, no one seems to be willing to do any type of an investigation that gives her any answers for anything. And the thing that sticks out to me most about this case is that you have got to be careful who your kids call their friend, right? Because I can't imagine going somewhere with any of my friends, either as a young person or now, right? We go somewhere and something happens to somebody and we don't offer up information about what happened to that person. So you really weren't his friend. Because if you were really his friend, you would want him to have justice. You would want his mother to have peace about what happened to him. I think about her often, actually, ever since, this happened to her son. The incident occurred on Independence Day. Well, they really don't know if it happened on Independence Day or the day after, I think. But I think about her often because I think about how she is waking up every day dealing with that. Like you wake up every day with still no answers about what happened to your child. And they've already had his funeral at this point. But I'm like, what do you mean you're best friends with somebody and something happened to him and you didn't call his mama? You didn't, because let me tell you a few things that I know, and then we're going to go. A few things I know about being someone's friend or just a decent human being, just in general, is that if a group of people go out, the whole group is supposed to come back, right? If a group of people go out and one person is like, oh, well, I'm going to go off with so and so, I'm gonna go do something with so and so. Yeah, maybe at this age in our 40s, people might take that whole, well, she's grown. But I think even in that, we would be evaluating the situation. Like, has she had anything to drink? Like, do we think she's in a good enough mind to like depart from the group? Like, you know what I'm saying? And we probably would say, oh, sis, you better get his phone number. You better whatever. You can make plans to get with so another time, but you came with us. You're leaving with us because they claim allegedly there was drinking. I'm like, even when I was 18 or 19, if I was out with my college friends, especially someone that I would say is like my best friend, because that's what they're saying, they were best friends. Let something happen to my best friend, because we actually did go to college together. Let something happen to my best friend. Oh, baby, I'm calling her mama. I'm calling her mama. If something happened to her, I'm calling 911, like obviously, right? And then I'm calling her mama. Like there is going to be no lapse in time where anything is up in the air. Because you know what? I'm not at the age of 18 or 19. I'm not grown. I don't have the answers. So when trouble is afoot, you do what you're supposed to do, which is call emergency services. And then you call the parent and say, hey, Miss So-and-so, such and such has happened. And like, girl, we need help. Like, you need to come meet us wherever. Then I'm definitely giving the parent his phone, his car keys, and whatever other belongings he may have had that day. I'm giving them all his stuff because what am I keeping it for? Like, why would I do that? So much that has happened in that case, or so much that has come out about that case, immediately points to wrongdoing, that it really is a disservice to Nolan's family that they have not made one arrest. I don't know how many people they've brought in for actual questioning down to the police department, because I don't think I've seen that covered on any of the news outlets that I watch where they say so-and-so was questioned, so-and-so was questioned. I think they were just going to go with the narrative that he drowned and like let that be that, because those kids have parents in position to kind of help them basically hide whatever happened to him. And it's awful. Like what she is going through is literally the unspeakable, most awful thing that I think a parent can go through, because it's already hard to lose a child, but to lose a child and feel like you're having to now take on the work of pushing people to do their job is like one of the most disgusting things about America. Truly. Truly, the fact that you can't trust the autopsy done in your own state, so you have to get an independent autopsy done. The fact that the independent autopsy is completed, but not really, because they really didn't send his throat and his lungs with the autopsy. And even if they say in some cases that's normal, it's like, yeah, it's normal, but is it right? Is it right? You know what I'm saying? Now they're saying the state of Mississippi has concluded their autopsy, but they haven't made the results of that public yet. And now you see where these people who claim to be his friends are starting to do interviews with different podcasters saying all these different things, but it's kind of like, yeah, everybody is telling all these stories. None of them really add up. Some of them actually contradict one another. And at the end of the day, you have his mother and his father who probably just get more confused and upset by the day. And that's just not fair. Like, it was already enough that y'all did whatever y'all did to their son. The least you could do, the least anybody could do, because if you heard the CETO call, you know it was a lot of different people on that boat. There was some girl voices on that call. Somebody who was there knows what happened to him. And the fact that none of them have the guts or the humanity to speak up definitely lets me know that there really are people out here who are raising little dirt bags. And that's me trying to be as nice as I can. Like, y'all are really raising little a-holes that don't think much of other people. Like, and that says a lot. It answers a lot of questions for me, because you wonder, how can the world be in such a state of disarray? And it's because every single day people like that are procreating and they're raising their kids to be awful people. And then when they get in trouble or they make a mistake at this magnitude, instead of you making them like report what they know, even if that means that they somehow get themselves into a little bit of trouble, instead of them saying what they know, y'all are protecting them, because God forbid your child's life gets, like, taken. Like, God forbid they actually get punished for something that they have done or that they knew about and didn't speak up about. And I bet, I would be willing to bet that if charges do get brought up against any of those children, it'll probably be something like tampering with evidence or failing to report something. It'll be something that probably is more in line with like a slap on the wrist than it would be with what actually happened to him. And that breaks my heart for his mother. The other thing about the Nolan Wells case that just like grips at my heart is because we know that while this is about Nolan today, that none of our kids are safe from some mess like this happening to them. Maybe not this exact way that it happened to Nolan, but none of us are safe from something happening to your child and you turn into law enforcement like, hey, figure out what happened to my kid, and them just not taking the case seriously, or them failing to do their jobs because they're trying to protect whoever it is they're trying to protect. And that makes me sad for her. And it makes me sad for all of us, to be quite honest. So that's why when cases like this come up, like, I feel like we should all hold the parents who are currently going through it very near and dear to our hearts, because while it's about them today, it's going to be about somebody else at some other time. And they'll probably get treated the same way. And that's disturbing on so many levels. So anyway, I also wanted to just make a note of that case because, number one, it has been in the news cycle ever since Independence Day. But number two, I feel like when we have mothers out here that are going through things that are hard to just digest or even imagine, I don't want us to forget about them until they get the answers that they rightfully deserve. So justice for that family. And as new information becomes available, I'll be updating it here on the podcast. So welcome back, girl. Welcome back to Tia's Table. Season 6 is going to be a good time. I'm very excited. I'll also be doing some updating to some of my other, what do we want to call them, media platforms. I'll be updating my website each day on what's going on with me throughout the month of August, kind of diary style, just sharing different tidbits about the workout of the day or maybe some food that I had that was really good. And I know I said I was going to vlog and do like YouTube over the summer, but to be honest with you, I couldn't quite figure out what felt right for me on YouTube. And now that I have an idea of what feels right for me, I'm going to try my best to upload videos over there. I'm going to say when I can, girl. I'm going to say when I can. I will do it. I will do it. But my first video will go up this week, and that's kind of exciting. So check me out over there too. It'll be mostly food based starting out. And then if our legs grow and we feel like we want to tiptoe into other things, then sure, I'll do it. But for now, you can expect food related content over there with the first video this week. So yay. Thank you for talking to me today. I'm so happy to be back on the podcast. Be sure to follow me on Instagram at Tia's Table Podcast or on the fitness page, Tia V Fitness, because I'll be back over there too, sharing workouts. You can check me out on YouTube, Tia V Fitness, and I am also on TikTok under the same name. I hope you guys had a great summer. When you're out, compliment a woman, say something nice to her, make her day, make her smile. Don't compete, don't compare, don't complain. What God has for you is for you, and never knock another woman's hustle. I'll talk to you again real soon, girl. Love you. Bye.